America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. This is not who we are. 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 This is not what America is. This is not what America is. This is most assuredly not what America is. We are better than this, all of us. This country is better than this. The American people, all of us, are better than this. Way better than this. Even those of you who want everybody in this country illegally out of this country, this is not who we are. This is not what America is. This is not what America does. America is better than this. I'm never going to stop believing that. Never. Never, never, never. Trump's been president 160 some days. He is the utter worst of us. I get that. I get that he's been elected twice, and I get that he's doing things right now in our face right now that I believe are going to wake up the American people. And more every day, the American people are going to realize and agree with me that this is not who we are. My God. I don't care your politics. Trump lover, Trump hater, somewhere in between. I don't care what your politics are. Everybody in America ought to be opposed to this. Our immigration cops snatched an Afghan national just yesterday and is about to deport him back to Afghanistan, back to the Taliban. In this rush, man, in this incoherent, ignorant, cruel rush to grab any brown and black person in this country and get them the hell out of this country, we are increasingly every day snatching people and disappearing people who are innocent, who should not be gotten out of this country. Every single day. And I often think, right? It's hard to say if there's one issue that should nail Trump and nail his Republican Party, because this is not just Trump. This is all my former political party. I am now a proud conservative Democrat. This should nail, I always think, what's the one issue that should nail Trump and the Republicans in the 2026 midterm elections? It's hard to pick because there are so many, but this is one. Like Democrats ought to carry this one around the country every day for the next 16 months. Get this. Man, what in God's name are we doing? An Afghan national who fought alongside our troops, American service members in Afghanistan for 3 to 4 years. He was a translator. He put his life on the line for years for our troops. ICE snatched him up yesterday, detained him, and is about to send him back to Afghanistan. Really? MAGA? Really, America? That's the kind of illegal immigrant you want to get the hell out of this country? Somebody who served alongside our troops for 2 to 3 years in Afghanistan? Somebody who helped protect the lives of our troops in Afghanistan. He comes to America. He miraculously makes it to America because he wants to be an American citizen. By the way, because we got the hell out of Afghanistan in a disorganized, unorganized mess and let a lot of these good folks who served alongside us left them stranded in Afghanistan. This guy makes it to our border. He does everything right. And ICE grabs him yesterday and is going to send him back. That's what you want? Every day. I could give you hundreds of these stories happening every day. This one, though, discovered last night. And I just said to myself, what the hell are we doing? Here's an Afghan national who served alongside our troops in Afghanistan. He was a translator for our troops in Afghanistan. He put his life on the line, as they all did, our Afghan allies, every single day, fighting with us, helping to protect American lives. After our chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, this guy got stuck in the country, like so many of our Afghan national partners did, right? He somehow escaped, this guy did. Made it to our southern border, this guy did. And then properly and legally entered this country to claim asylum. A legal process, and he did it the right legal way. You with me? And yesterday, he's in court at his asylum hearing. And ICE snatches him, grabs him, and is now detaining him. And he now is on a highway, figuratively speaking, to be deported back to Afghanistan. Now, we talk about, don't we, all of us, no matter where we are politically, you're in this country illegally and you're a violent criminal, boom, get the hell out. You're in this country illegally, you got a criminal record, boom, gone. You come into this country legally to claim asylum, and you served with us in Afghanistan. You saved the lives of American service members in Afghanistan. We left you behind, and somehow, you escaped the Taliban. You make it to our southern border. You use the proper technology and paperwork to come into this country to claim asylum legally. You're all fired up. You're all excited because you're finally going. It's your day, your asylum hearing. You're going to have your day in court. And oh my God, any judge is going to look at you and say, oh, excuse me, you're an Afghan national. You were a translator for our troops in Afghanistan. You served alongside our troops. Get out of here. You're here, baby. You get to stay in America. But no, our immigration cops grab him and detain him. Just outrageous. Just outrageous. Just shameful. Cruel. Not at all American. Dare I say un-American. Un-American. My God, why would anybody want to help America? Why would anybody around the country want to help America, help our troops, if this is the way we're going to treat people who help our troops and save the lives of our troops? And that's one issue. America under Trump isn't loyal to anybody. Why go out of your way, as so many of these Afghan nationals did, They went out of their way for years in Afghanistan, risking their lives and their families' lives to serve alongside us. And shame on us that when we got the hell out of Afghanistan, we did not grab every single Afghan national that served with us and their family members and brought them to America so they could live a good, peaceful, decent life. We left way too many behind. But I ask you, MAGA, and I ask you, whoever is the hardest border hawk in the world, is this the kind of guy you want to deport? Is this what you meant by violent criminal? Is this what you meant when you said, Joe, there are 11, 14 million illegals in this country. We got to get them all out of here. Is this what you were talking about? And by the way, again, I know that details and facts and truth and nuance do not work with way too many Americans. This guy, this Afghan national who put his life on the line to serve us, to serve alongside us in Afghanistan, he did not enter this country illegally. He entered this country legally. He made it to the southern border all by himself and entered this country legally. And still, ICE snatched him up. What in God's name are we doing? I'm not going to ask anybody listening to me, is this the kind of country you want? Is this what you meant by a secure border? No, fuck that. I'm not going to ask. This is not who we are. What in God's name are we doing? This is not what America should be. This is not the signal America should give to all those good people just yearning to get here, yearning to be American, yearning for freedom and opportunity. And this is what we do to them. Our immigration cops just indiscriminately grab everybody, even someone like this. Who are we? This is not who we are. And I know and I believe most Americans deep in their hearts know and believe that this is not who we are. And this is not what they meant by get rid of violent criminals who are in this country illegally. This is, and it's, you know what? I'll close on this, but it's too damn easy to say this is Trump's America. Hell yes, this is Trump's America. This isn't our America. This is not my America. And this should not be your America. Anybody who enters this country legally and claims asylum and they go to their asylum hearing should not be detained, grabbed by ICE. Most certainly. Any Afghan national who served alongside our troops and put their lives on the line and protected the lives of our troops in Afghanistan. Man, they ought to be, those folks, they ought to be all on a plane. We ought to fly them to America. None of them should have had to find their way, via plane, train, boat, bike, you name it, to get to our southern border. Shame on us. Shame on America for making that happen. Look, I'm glad Biden got us the hell out of Afghanistan. I knew the exit from Afghanistan was always going to be messy, no matter how we did it. Trump didn't get us out. Biden got us out, and Biden deserves a lot of credit for that. But Biden deserves blame. We all as a country deserve blame for leaving any Afghan national who served alongside us behind. They all should be put on planes and brought to America. This is happening every day. This is not who we are. I refuse to live in this kind of an America. I will not live in this kind of an America. Fuck Trump. And again, I know Trump's an idiot, right? But the people around Trump who are making this thing happen, right? Like again, Trump's an idiot, right? Stephen Miller, Trump's dirty immigrant guy, Stephen Miller 2-3 weeks ago raises hell in the White House. Oh, no, Joe Biden imported more people than we did last year. We need to increase our numbers, Stephen Miller cried. Go to Home Depot parking lots, go to daycare centers, go to 7-Eleven parking lots, go to doctor's appointments, go to courthouses, grab up any and all brown and black people, day laborers, whatever you can grab. That's what Stephen Miller said. And of course, Trump's an idiot. He just whatever. And then Trump came out a week ago and said, we're going to make an exception. We're not going to grab restaurant workers and farm workers and day laborers. Because you know why? Because Trump's hearing from small business owners and farmers and big business and Republicans that this is not going over real well politically, and this is hurting our businesses. So Trump said just this last week, we're going to stop all of that. Right? We're not going to pick up those people anymore. No more Home Depot parking lots. And then we find out 2 days ago, oops, yep, they're going to keep doing it. So yeah, again, Trump's an idiot. He's incompetent. So now we're back to it. And it makes you wonder. Remember how everybody said Joe Biden's not president? Somebody else is president. Biden's not really president. Well, I wonder if Trump's really president or is Stephen Miller president, because now we're back to, they flipped on their policy and now we're back to 7-Eleven parking lots and Home Depot parking lots picking these people up. This ain't who we are. Nope. This is not who we are. Hey, I saw this headline this morning and it grabbed me. You got that headline, Keith, about Obama? Hold on a minute, TikTok. Let me move you for a minute. Obama, President Obama gave a speech yesterday or was during an interview. You got me, TikTok. Barack Obama, an interview, I think in Boston. Obama said, quote, "The United States is dangerously close to moving toward autocracy." That was Barack Obama yesterday. There you go, TikTok. Barack Obama yesterday in Boston in an interview said, "Oh, America is dangerously close to autocracy." I agree. I think we're beyond dangerously close. But that headline grabbed me for a moment. And I looked at that headline. Keep that up for a sec, Keith. Obama publicly, whether he was given a speech or an interview or whatever, a public statement by Barack Obama. America is really close to autocracy. And when I saw that headline, I started to think out loud to myself, respectfully, Barack Obama, where you been? George W. Bush, where are you? Bill Clinton, where are you? I started to think quietly. And then I got loud to myself, and I do that sometimes. I was in a room all by myself with my dog, and I started to yell. And I said, "What? Wait a minute. This is crazy. This is crazy town." I agree with Obama, but why hasn't Obama been speaking out like every day? And by the way, now that I think about it, where the hell's George W. Bush been? Where's Bill Clinton? I mean, I started thinking out loud to myself, all by myself with my cup of coffee and my black lab. And I started thinking out loud. Okay. So we have the very thing our founding fathers feared is in the White House. Respectfully, Barack Obama, we're not close, dangerously close to autocracy. We be there. We're there. We have a tyrant in the White House. We have somebody in the White House who does not believe in freedom, democracy, the Constitution, and the rule of law. And every day he attacks freedom, democracy, the Constitution, and the rule of law. We know this. It's happening every day. So how come every living former president hasn't been out there yelling and screaming every single day? I mean that. If you, and I know, you and I know Barack Obama agrees privately with what I just said. Donald Trump is what our founders feared. He's a dictator, a tyrant, an autocrat who believes he's above the law. You and I know Barack Obama feels that way. We know Bill Clinton feels that way. We know George W. Bush believes that. We know that. Well, first of all, then that's a really scary thing. This country, this 249-year-old experiment in democracy then is in real trouble because the very thing this country rebelled against is in the White House. So if if Obama and W and Clinton believe that, that's really serious. You're a living former president of these United States. Wouldn't you be out there every day speaking out, speaking up? Fuck tradition. Fuck what the norms are. And remember, Trump, MAGA, they don't give a damn about norms. I know the norm and the tradition is former presidents generally kind of stay quiet and don't get involved politically. And by the way, Biden, where's Joe Biden? All of them out there. Kind of funny that I forgot Biden is still out there. Right? New guys elected, all the former presidents who are still living kind of the proper thing to do, right? Tradition is you don't get political if you're a former president. Fuck that. Our democracy's on the line. Obama and W and Clinton and Biden should all be speaking out publicly, regularly, daily, weekly. If they truly believe that Trump is what he is, and if they truly believe the Republican Party has become what it is, it's reminiscent of the campaign last year. George W. Bush didn't vote for Trump. George W. Bush knows exactly what Trump is, but George W. Bush kept his mouth shut. Shame on him. Like, these are not normal times. I'm a former Tea Party guy who became a Democrat formally a couple weeks ago. These are not normal times. These are unprecedented times. We're not arguing about policy right now. We've got a guy in the White House who is a direct threat to democracy, the Constitution, and the rule of law. These are unprecedented times, which call for all of us, and I say all of us, right? Me, a former congressman, you, just a normal community member, and Barack Obama and George W. Bush, two former presidents. These unprecedented times call for all of us to engage in unprecedented actions. And I think one of those is, hello, every living former president needs to be speaking out. And can you imagine if Obama and Bush and Clinton and Biden were speaking out to the threat this country faces right now? If they were speaking out on a regular basis, just think of how that would help galvanize the American people. And really, again, because there are still too many Americans who don't understand that this is not normal. Man, if you had 4 living former presidents speaking out, reminding them that this isn't normal, reminding them of what's at stake, I think that would really carry a lot of weight. Speak out. Why aren't they? And by the way, Obama has every now and then. Joe Biden has once. W. Bush, nothing. Bill Clinton, quietly, maybe a little bit. No, they ought to be pounding the pavement every day. They ought to be on their soapbox every day. This is not a normal time. Trump is not a normal president. He's a unique threat. And every former president knows that and believes that. They all ought to speak out to that. Josh Michaels says we voted for this. Hey, Josh, did you vote to deport an Afghan national who served alongside and saved the lives of American service members in Afghanistan? Did you vote to deport him if he made it to America? Is that what you voted for, Josh? And if you did, man, that's a really ugly, mean-spirited thing to vote for. Vote to deport somebody who served alongside our troops in Afghanistan. Josh Michaels, if that's what you voted for, I mean this respectfully, I feel for you. I feel for you, and I hope and pray that you find in your heart, you find the decency that I know is there that will compel you to admit, no, that's not what you voted for. That's not what I voted for. I voted Joe to get rid of people who are in this country illegally or have violent criminal records. Maybe Josh Michaels, you voted to deport everybody. I don't know. But Josh Michaels, I don't think you voted to deport Afghan nationals who served with our troops. No. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening this Wednesday, hump day. If you want to shoot me an email, do thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. That's all one word, thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. We're going to get back to them tomorrow. I had a really fascinating conversation with a young man in Philadelphia a while back, and I'll show you some of that conversation. If you want me to come to a town in a community near you, I'm coming. We're getting things back on schedule. And all you good folks in Northern Michigan, we're coming. Mark, we're coming. I promise you. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a good day. Talk tomorrow. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.